Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Master, where we love all things geek more than Tony Stark would love to get a rematch with Captain America after getting his ass whooped. As usual, I am your charmingly annoying host, Cassius Samuels, and today I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on Marvel's latest blockbuster, Civil War. But don't worry, I'm going to try to be quick about this. Yeah, we know how that works out every time. But I'm not going to give you the traditional frame-by-frame breakdown and analysis of the movie. If that's what you're looking for, I'm sure there are 100 other YouTube channels where you can find those breakdowns. But today, I'm basically just going to talk about what I liked about the movie, what I didn't like about the movie, and where I rank it amongst the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies and comic book movies in general. So with that being said, this video will be probably filled with some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, do not pass go, do not collect $200, go see the movie first, then come back and see what's popping. For everybody else that's still here, let's get it lit. So beginning with the cast, I have to say I was thoroughly impressed with how well the Russo brothers were able to construct this movie with such a large ensemble of characters to juggle. Going into the movie, I was kind of scared that it would suffer because I had too big of a cast and not enough runtime to bring it all together. But to see the Russo brothers take a dozen different characters that have been developed over the last 8 years or so and put them all into this movie with such cohesion was truly awe-inspiring to watch. Everybody had their moment in this movie, from Captain America to Iron Man, all the way down to Hawkeye and Agent Carter's granddaughter or niece or whoever the fuck she was. I even liked Zemo as the villain, considering out of all the villains we've seen in the MCU this far who have faced the Avengers, he's the one who ended up really doing the most damage, and he did it without even throwing a single punch. But of course, Black Panther and Spider-Man stole the show for me and honestly made me wonder how good this movie would have been if Marvel had not been able to make a deal with Sony to get Spider-Man back into the MCU. But Black Panther was a savage, Spider-Man was hilarious, he was so well played, and regardless of what deal Marvel was able to make to get him into this movie from Sony, I was 100% amazed at how well Tom Holland pulled off Spider-Man in like the 20 minutes of screen time that he had. It was flawless to me, for real. Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are to Tom Holland as Spider-Man what Vanilla Ice and Weird Al Yankovic are to Eminem in rap. It's that deep. Moving on though, I also thoroughly enjoyed the story structure of the movie, even though I disagree with some of the details that laid the premise of the movie, which is something we can discuss at a later time since we really don't have a whole lot of time here today. But the story itself was very deep in an ideological way that made it very easy to get engaged with one-on-one as a fan. From start to finish, there really wasn't any part of the story that I didn't find compelling, even if it was based on an argument that I didn't agree with or share. But overall, I thought the story was incredibly well paced, well balanced with plenty of action, good dialogue, excitement, and fun that was blended very well with an overtone of seriousness that seemed to permeate every neuron of my brain with enjoyment and stimulation. Of course, the airport scene was dope AF, but nothing really groundbreaking to me as far as visuals go, and it really didn't feel like there were any major stakes for the battle to me, since it was obvious everyone was pulling their punches and really not trying to hurt each other, until the very end where of course Vision misses his target and hits War Machine instead, and sends him flying out of the sky, crashing, paralyzing him. But the whole sequence was super dope to me, even though it kind of felt like a Powder Puff scrimmage. It didn't ruin my overall enjoyment of the movie at all. Quite the opposite, it was very engaging still, but when you break it down a little bit, it did come off kind of fluffy. To me, the last fight scene between Bucky, Cap, and Tony was the money shot for sure. That shit was brutally epic and totally worth every penny that everybody spent on these tickets to go see this movie, because that shit was on point. Switching the conversation over to things that I didn't like, I think my biggest beef with the film is the damn Sokovia Accords. The whole concept was total bullshit to me from top to bottom. I plan on doing a whole other video that goes into detail about why it's bullshit to me, so I'm going to kind of leave this open-ended. You guys aren't really going to hear everything I have to say about it, but to briefly touch on it, I basically didn't like it because I saw it for what it was. Political propaganda designed to put the Avengers on a leash that helps the government or the UN serve their own agendas. It kind of pissed me off too because it sounded like the argument that the government was trying to make is that the world would be better off with no Avengers if the Avengers were not willing to work with the UN. And that's complete horseshit to me. That's why I get so fired up talking about this government shit. Right now, I want to just go into full debate mode, but because of the time constraints, I'll have to save that for another video that I plan on putting out as soon as fucking possible. Another thing that rubbed me the wrong way was how hypocritical Tony looked recruiting Spider-Man onto his side when Peter basically felt the same way that Captain America did when it came to the ethics of being a superhero. Was remember when Tony went to Peter's apartment and they were in his room, he dropped that I'm paraphrasing, he dropped a line where it was like, when you can do the things that I can do and bad things happen, if you don't try to stop those bad things from happening, anything bad that happens is your fault. It's on you. And that's a cold ass line because it's the truth. And it just echoes what Captain America was saying earlier in the movie when he was talking to, I think, Black Widow or Scarlet Witch. In Scarlet Witch, when she blew up, let the dude blow up and all the people got killed over in Nigeria, and he was like, saving people doesn't mean saving everyone. And if you start to let the ones you can't save stop you from intervening in these situations, then that means next time nobody gets saved. And is that something you can live with? So there's definite parallels, but instead of Spidey being on Cap's side, he's on Iron Man's side, which kind of gives credence to the whole, Tony kind of blackmailed the kid with the whole suit, kind of misled him into fighting for him on his side and try to tell him that Cap he thinks he's right, but he's wrong, so he's dangerous and all this. And we can go back and forth on that, but it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. On top of that, the movie kind of came off like an Iron Man 4 to me, to be honest, because he really seemed like the only one who had a real story arc in the movie. I mean, the movie was more about Tony trying to deal with his demons from Age of Ultron, trying to, keep the Avengers together and make this whole Sokovia Accords thing work, than it was about anything else, in my opinion. Even though Cap had plenty of on-screen time, he didn't really do much evolution in his character, and his arc wasn't as defining as Tony's. And I just thought it was odd considering this movie was pitched as a Captain America movie and not Iron Man 4. So I don't know, to each his own, but that's just how I felt. And last but not least, I have to say, even though I enjoyed the story and enjoyed Zemo as a villain, at the end of the day, I feel like his master plan had to depend on way too many coincidences to come to fruition. Like, for instance, how did he know Iron Man was going to go rogue from Thunderbolt Ross at the end of the movie and show up in Siberia to watch the tape that he had sitting there prepped up, ready to go? How did he even find out that the Winter Soldier killed Tony's parents in the first place? Why was there a random camera posted in a tree in some back country road out in the middle of nowhere for this footage to even exist? I mean, it just seems like there's a lot of coincidences that had to happen for him to be able to get to the point where he was setting the Avengers up to fight each other. And that kind of bothered me because it just seemed lazy and it didn't feel organic, which made the movie come off very predictable because you could see what they were doing and you could see where it was going. But whatever, like I said, it didn't take away from my overall enjoyment of the movie. It is what it is. Marvel does what they do. They stick to the script, they stick to the formula, they stay safe, and it is what it is. In closing, I feel like this movie was a solid 8.5 out of 10, and I rank it in my top 3 Marvel movies and probably in my top 5 or 6 favorite comic book movies of all time at this point. There is a lot I didn't get to say in this video because I don't want to make an hour-long video that nobody will listen to, but this is pretty much the gist of it. If you want to hear more, please stay tuned for the more Civil War videos I plan on putting out. If I could get the fucking bitch-ass sensei to pull his face out of his girl's vagina for 2 seconds, we might get a Talk Nerdy to Me podcast out here soon. But who knows? We'll just have to see. But anyway, what did you guys think? What did you like and dislike about the movie? Where do you think the Marvel Cinematic Universe will go from here? Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are thinking. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you found any entertainment value in this video, and please subscribe to the channel if you want to catch any future videos that I put out when I'm not feeling lazy. Also, if you don't mind, hook a brother up and share the video with your friends so I can grow this audience and try to do this big. Let's get it lit up in here. Feel me? But that's all I got for you peeps today. Be on the lookout for a couple more Civil War videos coming your way as soon as possible. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.